back here on 970 WFLA talking about real estate in the local market. We've got some essential tips for home sellers that we want to wrap up here in the last segment of the show today. And, you know, I think the thing about selling your home today is you really have to kind of think outside the box and be different. When you're really looking to hire a real estate agent, you want to make sure to find the best agent for your specific need. You know, not every real estate agent is right for every property. There are home sellers that call me that I will say, I'm not the right agent for you. And so nonetheless, I think it's important. You want to talk to a couple of agents. You want to look at their track record. You want to do your own due diligence. You should be able to do your due diligence on a real estate agent today pretty easily online. It should be transparent. You should be able to Google them and find and see how many listings they have and find testimonials and so a lot of the due diligence you can do kind of incognito, but nonetheless, I think it's important, you know, to pick the right agent.
Yeah, your newly licensed cousin may not be the answer when
probably
selling your
not.
home.
Well, and it's the same thing. Goes back to, you know, you're making a humongous personal financial decision, and do you believe that's the right person to represent you in that sale? So you want to get an appraisal. I think we talked about that earlier. I think it's a good idea to get an appraisal, get an inspection up front. You want to know about the comparables. And when I say know about the comparables, you want to know what's sold. You want to know what's active. You want to know what's going under contract. You want to know what you're competing with, how the home should appraise. If you get the home appraised, you know it because you see it. If you don't go that path, look at the comps and really look at them and detach the emotion from it. Don't think, oh, my house has beautiful flooring, so it's worth $10,000 more than that one. You really detach the emotion. Look at the price per square foot. Look at the comparable features, and that's where
we know your house is better than everyone else's, but let's look at these numbers.
Right, and that's you know, there's a reason you bought it.
Right.
You know? But also look at the foreclosures and short sales. I continually hear people saying, "Oh, we should look at those." If you don't look at those, there's not a whole lot else to look at. I mean, you've got to look at foreclosures and short sales, and the banks are going to use them in the appraisal. But that doesn't mean they're not going to make adjustments to them for condition because they're in worse condition. You know, short sales and foreclosures on average will sell for 20% less than a retail resale sale home in Tampa Bay. So you know that you don't have to price as low as a foreclosure short sale, but you got to be close. If there's a foreclosure in your neighborhood that sold for $100,000, you're not going to get $225 for your house.
Right.
You know, you've got to be close, or else the buyer will just buy the foreclosure and put all the money into it and get it cheaper. So, you know, another tip is, you know, conserving utilities. This is something that was kind of an aha for me a few months ago. But, you know, when you have your home on the market or before you put your home on the market, turn off the lights. Run the AC maybe a little warmer. People are going to ask for your utility bills. That's part of due diligence today. And if they see high utility bills, if they see high electric, high water, high this, high that, same with insurance. They want to ask for your insurance, even though I think it's completely irrelevant because you're going to get different deductibles. If you're still insured at some high value from a few years ago and you haven't scaled it back, do that because they're going to want to see your insurance. And if they see some high number, they're going to leverage that into a negotiation. So, tax assessment, that's another thing you can do if you're planning on doing it in the future and you know that the tax assessment is higher. Work on lowering your property taxes. You can hire an appraiser to appraise the property, contest the value. There's different things you can do there.
Well, and whether or not the seller is homesteading that property or not, that's going to be, you know, it could be, the tax bill could be $2,000 now, but when you move in and homestead it, it can go down $800.
You want to sell green? If you've got green features, you know, make sure to accentuate them, make it known. Curb appeal, more important than ever. That first picture, and this is something that I have to say about real estate agents. A lot of us aren't great photographers. Make sure to hire real estate agents that'll take nice pictures. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I see $1 million home with a completely horrible, terrible, disgusting, ugly picture. It's like, how? Why? So the curb appeal is important, and I don't just mean it from the drive-by. I mean it from the screen. Like when they're sitting at the computer, if that first picture of the outside of the home doesn't pop, they'll click next and go to the next home. So curb appeal to me means the house needs to look good on a drive-by, but that first picture also needs to look crisp and bright and nice, or else the drive-by is the consumer on Realtor.com or one of the other websites clicking next.
Yeah, if your agent's using a Polaroid, you may want to.
Right, if they come out with their iPhone taking pictures of your house, you should fire them. So, nonetheless, another topic, everything is negotiable. You know, when you're talking with buyers and sellers, be prepared for them to ask for, as a seller, be prepared for them to ask for things you don't want them to ask for. They're going to negotiate. If you don't want your chandelier to convey, even though you've said it doesn't convey, they're going to ask for it. So be prepared for that. Don't check the emotion and think about it like a business decision. If they ask for things that you don't want to give up, they're going to ask for closing costs. They're going to just be prepared to negotiate. Don't just say no. If someone comes in with a low offer, don't just say no. Negotiate. You can get a low offer is better than no offer. You can get a low offer up. You can do nothing with no offer. So don't just say no. Keep them on the hook. Keep negotiating. See if there's a way you can find the middle ground. So don't give up on anyone. I talked about getting an inspection. You can hire a stager. Also a great idea depending on the price point and the cost. For as little as a few $100, you can have a pro come out and stage the property. If you hire a good photographer, they'll take crisp photos, but if the house isn't set up right, those crisp photos don't look that great.
Right.
So that, or watch a lot of HGTV and do it yourself. That's an option. For vacant homes, we have an option where we can do virtual staging, where we can hire a company. They'll come out and virtually with Photoshop put in, where furniture would sit and that sort of thing.
Yep.
And then finally, if you know that there are issues with the house, fix them. Hire a handyman or a contractor to come out and take care of those items that a buyer's inspection is going to find before it blows your deal up, because it will. The buyer will get spooked if they find that wrong. If you can take care of it now, do it now, and it'll save you the negotiation hassle and the risk later on. So we appreciate you tuning in on this holiday weekend to the Duncan Duo Real Estate Show here on 970 WFLA. If you're looking for a great deal on the market, we prepare a list every week of the top bargains on the market. You can check those out at TampaBaySmokingDeals.com. Again, that's TampaBaySmokingDeals.com. And we will be here next week with Nate Davis from Plant City Mortgages to give you an update on interest rates, the local financing market, and everything that is real estate in Tampa Bay. Thanks so much, and have a great rest of your Sunday.